What is up? I am Lauren from KSHE95 and I am sitting here on the very first episode of the local produce section with a three-piece that has been very prominent in the KSHE community. They are based out of St. Peter's and you've probably heard of them if you read the RFT or if you just, I don't know, haven't been under a rock in the last 8 years maybe. I'm sitting here with Logos. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello. You guys have had a history with KSHE like no other local band, at least in the time that I've been with KSHE. Back in 2008 is when I first met you guys. You remember? You weren't there yet, Connor, but Tom and Cullen definitely were.
I think I was there, yeah.
Old Rock House. I mean, it was 2008. Everybody had a white mask on because you guys just released like your debut.
Beautiful Disguise. Yeah.
Beautiful Disguise. Is that an EP or LP?
It's an EP.
An EP. I get them confused. I met you guys that night, and I just remember like KSHE banners all over the Old Rock House, and I expected like a band of like guys in their 40s to come out, and then out walks. I mean, you guys are all like a median age. I know you're 18, but you guys are all like 22, 23, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here you guys walk out. This has been 5 years ago. You weren't even legal to drink yet, and you were rocking that house. How did you guys become a band? And let's talk a little bit about what you guys are doing lately.
We started 2004. Basically, I just wanted to play Pink Floyd covers and AC/DC covers, so that's how every band starts. And I just got some friends together and forced them to play with me.
Now, was Tom there from the get-go?
No, I was not.
No.
I came probably maybe 4 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not probably halfway in Logos history somewhere.
But Zach Chakowski was there from the beginning.
He was the bass player at the beginning, and then we had a drummer, Jimmy Scroy, and then we went through a couple other drummers. It's kind of like Spinal Tap. We like went through drummers. Yeah, and then by the time we were graduating high school was when Beautiful Disguise came out, and that's kind of when we started taking it seriously, I guess.
Now, how serious did you want to go with it? I mean, you guys aren't done. You still practice every week. How many times do you practice a week?
3 times at least.
I mean, that's insane, and it's all at your house, right?
Yeah.
That's so cool. And actually, you guys have a Logos mansion now, right? You guys, most of you are living together. Not Connor yet, but you, Tom, and Zach are all living together right now in the Logos mansion. Yep. How? I mean, I remember when Beautiful Disguise came out that night that I met you guys. I mean, and you guys have played. What kind of KSHE events have you guys played? You guys played like a classic show or two.
Yeah, we did the classic show with Blue Oyster Cult and April Wine. And then we've opened for Todd Rundgren and Robin Trower a couple times.
Then you played like the after show at Halo Bar for like El Monstero.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are everywhere. And I think that it's so neat because, you know, our base mean of age for KSHE, I mean, guys over 50. And you have guys like coming out and seeing you guys rock out, and you were the epitome of what they wish they could have done 30 years ago. And I just think that that's so insane that you can captivate a demographic like that. It's very hard to do. And what I get from a lot of people, a lot of local bands I talk to, is just that the St. Louis local scene sucks. Is that still true in 2013?
No, I don't think so. I think it's always been pretty cool. You just have to know where to go.
Exactly.
You guys won Band of the Best Rock Band of 2010 for the RFT Best of, right?
Yeah.
How was that for you getting a community nod in such a cool publication in St. Louis?
It was pretty surreal. Like, it was like validating.
How was it the first time you heard your music on the airwaves at KSHE95?
Pretty much the same feeling. Pretty cool. Actually, I was driving home from work, actually. And I had a text from Favaz that said, listen now, and I just happened to be in the car. Was like cranking it up with the windows down.
I remember I was on my way back from work too, and yeah, I just heard it, and then I was like, what? Oh, yeah!
That's you! All right, so you talked about how like when you started back in 2004, you were just mainly focused on like AC/DC, Pink Floyd. What bands besides those bands have musically influenced your sound, or do you think that you come close to as far as like emulating?
Usually what I hear from other people is we're Rush mixed with U2.
That's a good one.
So I'll go with that.
Yeah? Tom, what about you? What bands like inspire you to drum?
I love a lot of progressive rock music, like anything from like Rush to like old school King Crimson and like Muse is a big influence of mine.
Cool.
Anything kind of that combines that catchiness pop to that like complex, progressive, you know, madness where they're playing in like, I don't know, no, 5/8 or whatever, and just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I love that.
Awesome. Connor, what influences you?
Well, when I first started playing bass, it was bands like Rush and Yes and you know, artists like that who just progressive rock bands who had really cool bass players. And later on was really I guess what has kind of inspired me to take my bass playing to the next level is these sort of like bass virtuosi, like solo jazz artists like
Oh, really?
Victor Wooten and Marcus Miller and guys like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think,
That's great.
I think that's the thing. Like kind of you talked about our demographic, and it was just kind of an accident, really, because when we started playing, we just wanted to get better, and what was challenging was progressive rock or jazz, and so that just happened to be the music we were playing.
You guys have a lot of friends that come out to your show, and I definitely know you have a family support of, I mean, your immediate families. I want to say that I've seen your parents at every Logo show that I've been to, and I think that that is so great. I mean, what do you, I mean, it's known that you guys have great families. Got a lot of friends. You're not the antisocial, no broken home. Like, you know,
Yeah.
where do your songs come from? Where does that like emotional song come from to you guys? Since, I mean, and of course I'm speaking as an outsider. From the outside, you look like you have picture perfect like lives.
I mean, that's true. I guess we all tried to rebel, but our parents were just like, cool, sweet, you're in a rock
cool.
band.
You want to play Rush? I love Rush. Yeah, go in the garage. I'll buy you a kit right now. That's great.
So, I don't know, there really wasn't any rebellion in our music, but I mean, any life situation is pretty much universal. So I think that kind of comes into play with lyrics. But musically, again, it's just what influenced us and what we think is cool and what's fun to play.
The one last question for you guys. Well, what's on the horizon for Logos in the coming months, years, days, weeks?
We just released a couple new songs on our Facebook page that you can stream, just kind of a sneak peek of what we're working on. And I think we're about ready to get in the writing mode again and start working on the next thing.
Well, you guys have a very big part of Keishi's heart. You guys know that, and the history with you guys is really cool. I think a lot of local bands are pretty envious and probably like a little confused half the time of like, what is the deal? But then once they hear you, they get it, you know, and going back to just how that you guys have old souls and that's your music. So you can check out Logos right now, look them up on Facebook, or, you know, hit me up if you need to get in touch with them, and they will be playing at a venue near you soon.
Have you been feeling like you need a new thing? You could tie me to the end of your string. You look at me